let's talk about two truths that define everything for us: life and death. We're so used to thinking of them as complete opposites, a beginning and an end. But what if they're not? What if they're actually partners, tangled up together in an inseparable dance? That's the idea we're going to dig into.
So first, you have life. And this quote just nails it. It's the breath we take without even thinking about it. It's that quiet, constant rhythm in your chest, the beat of your heart. It's this biological engine just running in the background of your whole experience. It's so constant, so present, we can go almost our whole day without even noticing it's happening.
And then there's the other side of that coin, death. If life is that unconscious breath, then death is the silence that shows up completely unannounced. It's really the one thing in our lives that's totally out of our hands, a sudden, final stop that, weirdly enough, gives shape to everything that came before it. It's this very tension between the constant rhythm and the sudden silence that we're unpacking today.
Okay, so if life itself is just a given, the automatic part, then the real question becomes, what do we do with it? And that brings us to this really critical distinction: the difference between just existing and truly living.
And that difference, it's everything. You see, existing is passive. That's the breathing, the heartbeat we just talked about. But living is active. It demands intention. It's about consciously filling our time with meaning, with action. So what does that actually look like day to day?
Well, living with purpose can start incredibly small. A simple smile you decide to give a stranger, that's a deliberate act of connection. It's this tiny little offering of goodwill that costs you absolutely nothing, but it can create these ripples, It can subtly change the entire energy of someone else's day. And yours too.
But purpose isn't only found in these nice, easy moments. It's also forged when things get tough. It's that courage to pull yourself back up after you fall, to see a failure not as some kind of dead end, but as a lesson. That kind of resilience is what turns a setback into a stepping stone.
And the third piece of this puzzle is a kind of selfless connection. We're talking about the love you share freely, without thinking about what you're going to get back. It's the genuine, unconditional act of giving. And when you put these things together, these small kindnesses, the courage, this selfless love, that's when a passive existence really transforms into a life that feels full of purpose.
All right, now let's turn to the other partner in this dance: death. We're so conditioned to see it as this terrible thing, right? An enemy we have to fight. But what if we just reframe that? What if we started to see death not as an ending, but as a really powerful reminder?
In a way, it's the awareness of death that forces us to become aware of life. It's the ultimate deadline. Knowing that our time here is finite is what motivates us to fill it with meaning, to make choices that actually matter, and to stop taking all these moments for granted.
I mean, think about it. Why do we cherish a beautiful sunset or a really deep conversation? It's because we know, on some level, that it can't last forever. The fact that these moments are fragile is exactly what makes them so valuable to us. So in that sense, death becomes this ultimate teacher, just showing us how to appreciate what's right in front of us.
So, we've looked at life, we've looked at death, and now it's time to bring them back together and see how they're not just connected, but are actually completely dependent on each other. This, right here, is the very heart of the inseparable dance. Just think about this relationship for a second. Without death, if life just went on forever and ever, would there be any real urgency? Any reason to create something, to love someone, or to act today? Probably not. Death gives us that urgency. And on the flip side, without the vibrant, messy, beautiful story of a life, death would just be, well, an empty silence. Each one gives the other its meaning. So maybe we can even stop seeing them as just a start and a stop. What if they're both just two different kinds of beginnings? Life kicks off a journey of action, of experience, of growth. And death, in its own way, could be seen as the beginning of a different state, of rest, of silence, of peace. So what do we do with all this? How do we take this whole philosophy and actually apply it? Well, this last part is really a call to action. It's a challenge to take this dance of life and death and to truly make it your own. It really boils down to these three powerful things. First, live fully. That means embracing every moment with awareness, with purpose. Second, love deeply. Connect with people without conditions or expectations. And finally, leave the world a little better than you found it. Make your impact. Doesn't matter how big or small, a positive one. That's it. That's the blueprint.
Because, in the end, that's what we are. That's what we become. Our time here, our actions, our relationships, all of it is weaving together to create a narrative. Long after we're gone, what's left is the story of the life we lived. All of us, right now, are writing that story with every single choice we make.
And so, the only real question left is the one for you. Knowing that your life is a story that's being written in real time, a story framed by this incredible, inseparable dance. What will yours say?